Welcome to What Am I Looking At? A podcast from the Department of Art and Design at Arkansas State University. My name is Dr. Tima Balducci, and I'm a professor specializing in modern and contemporary art. Throughout this series, each presenter will be giving insight into works of art that are in some way unusual, sometimes strange, sometimes hard to understand. I hope you enjoy today's exploration of the visual on your radio. So we're all familiar with the works of Claude Monet, especially those massive paintings of ponds filled with lily pads. Over the years, these canvases have been the star feature in summer blockbuster exhibits around the world, precisely because they are something almost everyone can appreciate and enjoy. I bet many of you don't know, however, that in the late 19th century, when Monet first began his painting experiments, his works were thought to be very radical. They were criticized and even mocked by everyday viewers and art critics alike. So let's do a deep dive into the 1870s to figure out why. Basically, since the Renaissance, painting had been done in a particular way. Artists started out with a canvas that had been primed. They then painted a dark undercoat and then sketched out the composition and colors, all before they ever picked up the paintbrush to start on the finished product. These traditional paintings were very polished and professional looking, with a smooth surface and clearly outlined content. The subject matter was often an uplifting or moral story from history that was dominated by human figures, so the artist could show off his or her skill in that arena. Monet broke all of those rules. His subjects were not taken from history, and human figures were not given center stage. Sometimes his figures were just tiny blobs of paint, or they were even left out altogether. He was more interested in landscape, which was traditionally not considered a very worthy subject. It was because of his interest in landscape that he switched from a dark underpainting to a light underpainting, so that he could capture atmospheric and light effects more effectively. But perhaps the most egregious offense in the eyes of his contemporaries was that he often didn't do preliminary drawings. Instead, he painted quickly and often outdoors so that he could more easily capture a specific moment or quality of light. He was definitely not going for a polished look, and actually wanted his paintings to look unfinished and sketchy, often with globs and squirts of paint or bits of sand to add texture. He named one of these early experiments Impressionism Sunrise. Critics pounced on the name Impressionism as a suitable insult, and that is the name that has stuck almost 150 years later. Monet was going for something spontaneous and off the cuff, and to be completely honest, he would often spend hours after one of his outdoor painting sessions making sure his paintings looked spur of the moment. So maybe he cheated a bit, but we still love to look at his canvases. What Am I Looking At is provided by KASU in collaboration with the Department of Art and Design at Arkansas State. Stay tuned next week for another look at art over your airwaves.